The whispers began the night Virginia Dare was born. On August 18, 1587, in the heart of the struggling Roanoke colony, Eleanor Dare cradled her newborn daughter in her arms, unaware that the child's arrival would mark the beginning of something dark, something unnatural. Virginia was the first English child born in the New World, a symbol of hope for the settlers. But to some, she was an omen. As the infant took her first breath, a strange hush fell over the settlement. The ever-present wind through the trees died down. The insects that usually sang in the thick summer air went silent. And in the distance, deep within the shadowed woods, something else was listening. Something old. Something hungry. The mark of the ancients. As the days passed, Virginia was healthy and strong, perhaps too strong. She never cried. She rarely slept. The other mothers whispered about her unnatural stillness, her unblinking gaze that seemed far too knowing for a child so young. Then, the mark appeared. A faint, spiraling symbol eerily similar to the carvings Eleanor had uncovered began to form on Virginia's skin. At first, it was barely visible, just a shadow beneath the surface. But with each passing night, it darkened. It was growing. Spreading. One evening, an elder Croatoan woman, who had hesitantly agreed to trade with the settlers, caught sight of the child's mark and recoiled in horror. She muttered hurried words in her own tongue, words that sent chills through those who understood them. "She bears the mark of the old ones. She is claimed." The woman refused to stay another moment, warning that the child was no longer entirely human. That the land had seen her birth and it had chosen her for something greater, something terrible. The settlers scoffed at the warning. But deep down, they were afraid. The visions begin. Then, the nightmares started. Eleanor was the first. She dreamed of a black sea, stretching endlessly, with Roanoke sunken beneath its waves. She saw her daughter standing at the water's edge, whispering words in a language that had never been spoken by human lips. Harcourt, too, was plagued by visions. He saw the colony, but twisted, distorted by something unnatural, the settlers' faces pale and vacant, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. He saw Virginia, standing at the center of it all, untouched, unblinking. Waiting. Those who dared sleep soon found themselves waking in the woods, far from their homes, with no memory of how they had gotten there. Others began to disappear entirely. It was as if the land itself was changing them, claiming them. The vanishing begins. By the time John White had set sail for England, the colony was already unraveling. Some settlers wanted to leave, to take their chances beyond Roanoke's borders. Others insisted they stay, believing they could bargain with whatever forces were at work. And then one morning, the child was gone. Eleanor woke to an empty cradle, the faint sound of waves crashing in the distance. Desperate, she searched the settlement. The other colonists joined her, but there was no trace of Virginia. Only a trail of small footprints leading into the woods, ending abruptly at the same site where Eleanor had unearthed the ancient stone. There, one final word had been carved into the earth. Croatoan. But this was no message. It was a name. A claim. And the settlers knew, at last, that they were doomed.